The most dangerous prison has no walls. It is built from imagined faces, silent judgments, and the question you ask before every honest decision: what will they think of me? You may call it being considerate. Sometimes it is. But when every choice requires permission from an invisible audience, consideration has become captivity, and your life is being directed from outside. Notice how early the habit begins. A child performs, the room smiles, and warmth arrives. The lesson feels innocent. Approval means safety, while disappointment feels like exile. Years later, the room changes, but the bargain remains. Now the smiles come from managers, partners, strangers, followers, and people whose names you barely remember after the screen goes dark. You edit a sentence until it no longer sounds like you. You accept an invitation you resent. You laugh at what wounded you, because honesty might disturb the peace. Each surrender looks small. That is why it survives. No single compromise destroys a life, but thousands of tiny betrayals can make your own reflection feel like a stranger. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet reminded himself that praise adds nothing to the thing being praised. An emerald does not become worse when nobody admires its color. The same is true of character. If an action is wise, praise cannot improve it. If an action is cowardly, applause cannot cleanse it. Noise does not alter substance. Still, the nervous system argues differently. Disapproval can feel physical: a tightening chest, a hot face, a sudden urgency to explain yourself before anyone forms the wrong conclusion. Stoicism does not ask you to pretend that sensation is absent. It asks you to examine the command hidden inside it. Fix their opinion now, whatever it costs. That command is impossible to obey. You can clarify your words, repair genuine harm, and behave with care. You cannot enter another mind and arrange its verdict. Someone can misunderstand your best intention. Someone can dislike your necessary boundary. Someone can benefit from your silence and call your honesty selfish when that silence finally ends. If their comfort is the measure of your goodness, manipulation becomes easy. They only need to withdraw affection, and you will abandon the boundary to purchase it back. This does not require villains. Ordinary people naturally prefer versions of you that make their lives easier. Your task is not to blame them. It is to stop outsourcing your conscience. The Stoic division of control is severe and freeing. Your judgment, intention, effort, and conduct are yours. Reputation, applause, rejection, and gossip belong to fortune. Freedom begins when you stop demanding a guaranteed reward for good conduct. You speak honestly because honesty is your responsibility, not because honesty guarantees admiration. You set a boundary because resentment is already poisoning the relationship, not because the other person will immediately congratulate your courage and respect your timing. You choose meaningful work because your days are finite, not because everyone will understand why you left the impressive title that kept your spirit numb. There is a cost. Some people will prefer the agreeable version of you. When that version disappears, they may call your growth arrogance because the old arrangement served them. Let the accusation pause in the air. Do not swallow it immediately, and do not reject it automatically. Ask a better question: is there truth here that can improve my conduct? If the answer is yes, correct yourself without self-hatred. If the answer is no, release the verdict without revenge. In both cases, another person's emotion is information, not authority. Practice with small acts. State a preference without building a courtroom defense around it. Say no without inventing an illness. Allow a message to remain concise. Then observe the discomfort as weather. It rises, moves through the body, predicts catastrophe, and eventually passes. You do not need to obey every storm you can feel. Each time you survive being misunderstood, the prison loses a brick. Each time you remain kind without surrendering truth, your nervous system learns that disapproval is not exile. Be careful not to turn independence into contempt. Needing no applause does not mean ignoring wise counsel. A person beyond correction is not free. That person is merely defended. The standard is simple but demanding. Listen for truth, consider the source, examine your motives, and decide from principle. Do not decide from the panic of being temporarily disliked. Imagine the energy return to you. Hours once spent rehearsing explanations become available for work. Attention once trapped in reactions becomes available for love, craft, and presence. Your relationships also become more honest. People can finally meet the person who is there, rather than the careful performance designed to prevent every possible disappointment. Some connections deepen, others weaken. Both outcomes reveal something useful. A bond that survives only through self-erasure was never offering the safety you believed it provided. Tonight, write one decision you already know is right, but keep delaying for approval. Beneath it, write what belongs to you and what belongs to others. Tomorrow, take one quiet step on your side of that line. No announcement, no dramatic speech, no demand that everyone understand. Let the action be enough. You were not born to become flawless in every passing mind. Live so your private judgment can respect your public actions. Let praise visit, let criticism visit, and remain the keeper of your direction. That direction will be tested in ordinary moments, not heroic ones. A raised eyebrow, a delayed reply, or a cold tone may invite the old performance back. Recognize the invitation before you accept it. When the urge to explain appears, wait for 3 breaths. Ask whether clarification serves truth or merely sedates anxiety. A truthful explanation can be brief. An anxious defense never finds enough words. Keep a private scorecard for 1 week. Do not count compliments, agreement, or attention. Count moments when your words matched your values and your actions matched the promises you made to yourself. This changes the source of confidence. Instead of waiting for a crowd to confirm your worth, you gather evidence that you can trust your own conduct under pressure, uncertainty, and silence. You will still make mistakes. Freedom from approval is not certainty that you are always right. It is the willingness to correct what is wrong without begging the world to declare you good. Offer others the same freedom you are learning to claim. Let them disagree without punishing them. Let them choose without making their choice a verdict on your importance. Independence becomes wisdom when it is mutual. Over time, the question changes. Instead of asking whether they approved, you ask whether you were honest, useful, patient, and brave. Those questions return your attention to the only workshop you can govern. The crowd may cheer, criticize, misunderstand, or forget. Let it move like weather beyond the window. Your work is nearer. Choose the next honorable action, take it fully, and leave the verdict outside.